Hey guys, here's how you can make chocolate tarts with a chocolatey ganache. Yep, that's right, I do desserts as well.
Alright, so first we're going to start off with the tart
You want to weigh out about 75 grams of sugar, and to that you want to add about 1 tablespoon of corn flour, and then you just want to blend it up until it becomes a powder. You can also skip this and buy powdered sugar, but you know, I'm a bit extra. Then you want to get some butter. I believe this was about 120 grams.
Let the butter get to room temp, or if you're lazy, put it in the microwave.
You want to add your powdered sugar and give that a mix, and then crack in 1 egg. Anyway, once we mix that up, you want to add about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, and you want to sift it through using a sieve. And then you want to add about 185 grams of plain flour and give that a mix. Now don't worry if it's too crumbly. All tart doughs start off like that, and then once you mix that together, flour up your surface, and you want to knead it for a bit until you get a smooth dough.
If you find the dough gets too sticky, then feel free to add a bit more flour. The main thing is you want to keep kneading until you get a smooth dough. Then you want to wrap it up in some cling film.
And then we're just going to toss this in the fridge for about half an hour. Now to move on to our chocolate ganache filling, you want to add the rest of your butter, about 80 grams, and then fill it up with about 50 ml of water. Chop up your dark chocolate.
I used about 150 grams, and then you just want to add a bit of salt to bring out the sweetness of the chocolate.
And just a dash of vanilla extract.
Now trust me on this, you want to add about half a teaspoon of instant coffee.
I did put a bit too much, but it does help with bringing out the chocolate flavour. And then we want to fill it up with about 100 ml of double cream. And then stir until smooth and all the chocolate has melted. Finally, you can add the amount of sugar that you want. I did about 30 grams. And then you want to beat 2 eggs.
This helps with a more rich and firm filling.
Now it's important to only pour a bit at a time, whilst also whisking it quite fast, until about half the mixture has been added, and then finally you can add it back to your pan.
And then mix until fully incorporated.
Next we can move on to rolling out our tart dough, and then you want to roll it up to about 1 centimeter thick. Now I was supposed to be getting some tart pans, but they came a bit late, so I had to make do by using some ramekins. Make sure you fold it through without tearing, and you fill out any air gaps, and feel free to add any extra dough if needed. Then you can just press out the excess dough and then remove it like so. And there you have it guys, the hardest part is done. Now you can be a bit fancy and crimple down the edges using a fork, but the main thing is you press it down and this prevents it from puffing up. And then you want to carefully put it in the oven, 180 degrees for about 20 minutes. And then you want to add your ganache. Make sure to fill it up quite high. And I didn't show this, but make sure you tap it on to get rid of any air bubbles. Make sure to clean off any excess filling. Once that's done, place it back in the oven for about another 20 minutes until our ganache has set up. And the main way to sort of find this is by tapping it, and if you see a slight jiggle, you know it's done. Then top it off, sift it up with some cocoa powder, and I added some pistachio on top. And there you have it guys, you have your chocolate tarts. Now it's important to keep it in the fridge so that it cools down.
And you have that nice silky filling.
And there you have it guys, enjoy.
And make sure to let me know what to cook next.